What are the solutions to the equations? We have, if you notice, we have an equation, but we do have a rational equation. We have fractions as part of the equations. Just like we have learned before, whenever you see a fraction, you want to get rid of the denominator. Now, if you notice, we do have a variable as part of the denominator. So I know that I'm going to have a restriction. I know the denominator cannot be 0, so x cannot be equal to 0. That should be the first thing that you should notice. Second, I want to get rid of the denominator. I have an x, I need to multiply by the LCD. So let's say I want to cancel this x, so that'll be multiplied by x on each one. This one has two x's, x times x. So the first x will be canceling the first one, but I need to cancel both of them, so I need to multiply by x and x. So my LCD will be x and x. Multiply each term by x and x, x and x, x and x. That's it. On the first one, nothing cancels, so I have just 1x squared or x squared. On the second one of the x's cancels, so I just have a positive 2x. On the last one, both x's cancel, so I just have equal to negative 9. Now, I notice I have a quadratic equation. I can factor it, I can complete the square, or use a quadratic formula. Now, by looking at my answers, I know there's a square root in there, so I know it cannot be factored. You can try, but it cannot be factored. My next option will be completing the square. There's no leading coefficient, which is great, because we cannot complete the square if there's a leading coefficient, and the value of b is even, so therefore I can complete the square. Remember, your formula will be b divided by 2 and then you square it for completing the square. So let's leave some space. X squared plus 2x, leave some space, equal to negative 9. I need to complete the square, so I need my square here and my square here. To complete the square, you need to take half of the number, which will be 1. 1 times 1 is positive 1 on both sides. I'm going to factor this out. Gives me x and x. Factors of 1 will be 1 and 1. This is a positive, so they both should have a positive, because you need to add up to 2x. That gives me 1, and 1 gives me 2x. That's going to be equal to negative 8. I'm going to combine them into 1 because they're exactly the same, and whenever you complete the square, you should end up with exactly the same factors. To get rid of the square, I'm going to take the square root on both sides. The square root and the square cancel, so I just have x plus 1 is equal to the square of negative 8. It's a negative, so I know I need to have an I. So my answer should have an I, so it's not B, it's not C. Now the factors of 8 will be 4 and 2, 2 and 2. And I'm going to take 2 times 2 is 4, that comes out. And inside we have a square of 2. And don't forget your plus or minus. Now move my 1 to the right, it's a positive, we can't say negative. So x equal to negative 1 plus or minus 2i square root of 2. And my answer, negative 1, will be letter A.